The instructions tell me to work a standing single crochet 10 stitches to the right of the marked stitch. That means I'm going to count 10 stitches in this direction. If I'm left-handed, I'm going to count 10 stitches in this direction and first work the first row like this, but I am right-handed, so I'm going to count 10 stitches to the right. So there's my first stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let me put a marker in that stitch so I know where the first stitch goes. A standing single crochet is simply a single crochet worked in the air, if you will. I will put a slip knot on my hook and then just work a single crochet into that stitch, into that marked stitch. I'll take the marker out. Go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. That joins my yarn, and then I'll work single crochet in the next 20 stitches. I can remove the marker when I come to it. That's the center back of the heel. I don't need that for the moment. I want to go back and count and make sure I indeed have 21 stitches. Okay, so I've got 21 stitches, and I'm going to turn and chain 1. Now working on the wrong side, I'm going to single crochet in the first 14 stitches. So don't work into the chain, but I work into that first stitch. All right, so I have worked a short row here. You'll see that I should have 7 stitches remaining. I'm going to turn, chain 1, and work in the first 7 stitches. Now, this looks really weird, but it's right because we're going to be working back and forth, starting, this is the back of the heel, we're going to be working back and forth and adding a stitch on either side until we get all the way across those 21 stitches. Just work it with me and you'll be fine. I'm going to chain 1, turn and chain 1, whatever you want to do. And then single crochet in each single crochet across, so that's the first 7 stitches, and then I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch of the long row below. See this red row here? That's the next stitch. I'm going to single crochet into that next stitch. Whoops, if I don't split my yarn. So now I have 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll keep doing that back and forth, adding a stitch every time. Chain 1, turn, single crochet in each stitch across. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then single crochet in the next stitch of the long row below. That makes 9. Chain 1 and turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then work into the row, the long row below. As you work, you'll notice this starts cupping a little bit. It doesn't lie flat. That's exactly what we want because we are turning the heel. We're making the work go in another direction. Let's do another row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the 11th stitch is way down here. Keep working back and forth, adding one more stitch each time till all those stitches are used up. I'm on my last wrong side heel row. There's my last stitch to work into. Might be a little tight. And I'll turn and work my single crochet row. This should have 21 stitches. There's stitch number 20, and there waiting down there on that long row is stitch number 21. You can see that now my heel is shaped. You have a nice heel cup going on there. And I'm not going to turn at the end of that row 17. Instead, I'm going to fasten off. And you do this whether or not you're using a contrasting color. So even if you use the main color, you want to go ahead and fasten off here. And I want to determine the center stitch of my heel because I know I have 21 stitches and I need to put a marker in the center stitch there. I think that would be stitch number 11. And I can check my math there. This is the beginning of my new round. I'll change back to my main color yarn and put a standing single crochet in that first stitch, working under both loops with right side facing. Move the marker to show me the beginning of the round. Now I'm just going to work in pattern. So how does that work? Well, I'm going to single crochet in each stitch around. That means across those heel stitches, there's the heel stitch, and now I'm just going to start working across the instep stitches. This is why I wanted to use a different color so you could really see where this goes. My next stitch goes into the stocking where I have worked before, so I'm working into the same color, and because it's a right side row, I'm working under both loops of the stitch. Don't worry if you have a little bit of a hole here. That's what this yarn tail is for. We'll go back and fix that gap. Now I'm working around the instep stitches. As I finish my instep stitches, there's my last white stitch. I'm going to jump over here and start working into those bottom of the heel stitches. Again, there might be a little gap there. Don't worry about it. We can fill that in later. Continue working around to the beginning of the round. and join with a slip stitch in that marked first stitch. It's a good idea at this point to count and make sure you have 44 stitches. I won't do that, but I'm going to encourage you to do that right now. The rest of this should look pretty simple. You've gotten the hang of it from doing the leg. You're turning, you're going to work into your first stitch, your first single crochet. Move your marker, whoops, you're going to work into the front loop of your first single crochet. Move your marker. You're on a wrong side round, so you're going to work under the front loop only. Continue working in pattern until the foot measures about 5 inches from the end of the heel shaping. In other words, from about here.